The federal government has disbursed fees of 20,000 students directly to their institutions in the ongoing Nigerian Education Loan Fund scheme. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of NELFUND, Akintunde Sawyer, said this during a summit and sensitization program by the National Association of Nigerian Students, Rivers State. He added that NELFUND has so far paid the tuition fees of 20,000 students in 6 universities. The implementation of the student loan scheme is President Bola Tinubu's flagship project in the education sector. And joining us is education researcher Dr. Peter Ogudoro. Good to have you join us, Dr. Ogudoro. NELFUND has spoken about the fact that they've received 280,000 applications, 256,000 of those are completed, and 20,000 payments have been made. And it talks about errors made by students while actually filling out the application. What do you think is wrong? Because the expectation is that a larger percentage of the applicants would have received this support.
Well, there's nothing strange about those errors. This is a new product, it's a new service. And with every thing in life that is new, you would expect that people need time to learn and understand how it works. So if you are familiar with how products are fused, there will always be the innovators who happen to be those who have come from the 6 universities who have embraced it early. But then as they experience it and they are happy with it, they will begin to create awareness in their own ways within their own social networks, and other people will join in and begin to knock on the doors of NELFUND to also benefit from it. So we shouldn't be worried about the seeming reluctance of some students to get involved. We shouldn't blame them. This government is living with a stereotyped image which they have inherited from the very poor governance we have experienced over decades in our country. And so not everybody is convinced that they mean well. So it will take doing this well for those who don't believe government to come to accept that indeed the government has made funds available to assist young people to access higher education, which is a very important step in our step towards accelerated development as a country.
All right. And so far, 6 universities have benefited from this. How do we expand it? How do we ensure that all of our institutions are able to key into this and maximize the opportunity?
Most higher institutions in Nigeria have already keyed in, and their papers have been processed. They're setting up appropriate systems to ensure that those who haven't had their students benefit already will benefit. So in the next 2-3 months, I believe very strongly that over 50% of higher institutions in the country would have started receiving funds through this platform. So I think if you know how new products are fused, there's nothing that makes what we experience strange and very different from what you can experience with any other thing that is new. So we are moving in the right direction, and I think that by the time we get to the second year, every student who has need for this will realize that if he or she doesn't go for it, he has only himself or herself to blame.
And, with new products, you also think about sustainability. How sustainable do you think this initiative is?
Well, the relevant law has anticipated the challenges that will be associated with maintaining the flow of funds to NELFUND, and they have built how to make funds available to the agency into the law. From what I know, FIRS, the relevant tax agency of our country, has a responsibility here. So some of the money that will be coming through taxation will be reserved for the maintenance of the free flow of funds into the agency that disburses the funds. So I have no fears about that, unless we have crazy lawmakers tomorrow who come and say the one we have now is not good for us. But as we have it today, sustainability shouldn't be something we have to worry about.
All right, then education researcher Dr. Peter Ogudoro, thank you so much for talking to us on TVC News at 1.
My pleasure.